Good morning and welcome to another Miracle Mondays. I am Latricia Penny of Root of the Matter, and this morning's discussion is going to be about patience or being impatient. I was going through some notes of mine. I have a tendency to write down a whole lot of stuff whenever I read something or hear something or study certain things. I'm not totally sure where I get some of this information from, so I do apologize. As I was looking through this journal, in particular, I noticed that I was doing a whole lot, but I didn't reference this particular area, so my apologies with that. But it talked about being impatient, and it said that being impatient is rooted in frustration, and sometimes projecting your impatience on the outside world is a defense and a way of deflecting a fear of inadequacy. And so I was like, wow, sometimes we have this idea that things need to happen just because we've had this thought and we're manifesting and things need to just show up immediately. But there are some things that take a little time. So this is also actually could be about faith as well, knowing that as you're patient and having faith that whatever you're desiring, that it will show up. I think sometimes when we lose faith, we forget that, and then we become impatient and think that everything needs to be on our time, where actually almost nothing is on our time. We can create, and I'm definitely in the belief system that we do manifest our thoughts and everything else, and some things do show up a lot quicker, but sometimes we don't give ourselves the patience of allowing things to unfold. And so the other thing was impatience ends when you can go back inside yourself with enough confidence to let awareness unfold. And confidence stuck out to me in this particular statement because I know that I had to create confidence. I'm certain that we were all born with it, but then with life and how things occur in our lives, that we sometimes forget to be confident or have that faith in ourselves or know who we are. And sometimes we have to recreate that for ourselves, being confident. I know whenever I feel like I'm not there, I'll go back to my mirror work and say I love myself and do it at least 100 times and look myself in the eye so I can remember. Because it's not that we aren't, it's just that sometimes we don't remember. And if you're not affirmed, when you're growing up or in society or what have you, sometimes it's a little bit challenging to go back with confidence and just kind of know that as things unfold, they're unfolding the way that they need to. And as you create this awareness of what's unfolding, that you're always at choice. To either go through what you're going through or make a different choice. And sometimes that stretch is a little difficult, but you're always at choice. The last statement it said is, if you are impatient, you can benefit from knowing that you are not the best in everything and you don't need to be. And it's like, wow, how liberating is that you don't have to be this jack of all trades with everything, that you can fine tune whatever that greatness is that you have and just move in that. And it doesn't mean that you only have one area of greatness. You may have several, but it doesn't mean that you have to have them all. And it doesn't mean that you have to try to be all to, everything that you're pursuing, if that's not what's speaking to you at the time. And what I've noticed is basically now almost a lot of things have been in a competitive nature. And I don't even know if that's just now as I'm thinking about it. I think historically, everything has been kind of in a competitive nature. We are always trying to be the best of this or the best of that, and shunned if you're not the best all the time in a particular thing, and which creates sometimes that feeling of lack of self-worth or self-esteem or what have you, because so-and-so did this better or so-and-so did that, or just that constant comparison and competition, instead of just with the wisdom and knowledge of just knowing that everybody has their thing and you have your thing, and your thing is still going to be uniquely yours. And some people may consider you the best and some people may not. And it doesn't really matter, because whoever you're supposed to reach with whatever you choose to do, you will reach them and you'll be perfect for them. It's not about pleasing everybody. We have our gifts, we have our talents, and some people are going to like us and some people aren't. And that's okay because we don't have to be everything for everybody. It took me a while to learn that. I knew that I had a strong desire to help, and some people I just felt like I couldn't, but I had this strong desire. Or sometimes I probably wasn't the one that needed to see them. But I felt like I needed to, or I had to, or maybe a little arrogance, thinking that I can, help change or influence, but it wasn't on me to do. And if certain people aren't ready, or if I'm not the one for them, then it just doesn't matter. And I had to learn to be okay with that. I am not for everybody. But the people who I'm for, they will come to me. And that's been a very emotional and draining lesson to learn at times. But in the patience of it all, because that was the initial thing about being patient and noticing areas that we're impatient in, that we give ourselves the opportunity to just allow things to unfold. And some things don't happen overnight and some things do. But can you be patient enough to know that you're okay during the process, that whatever you desire is going to be yours if you keep the faith and keep positive vibes, and just stay focused on what you are truly desiring, that everything will unfold in due time, and you allow yourself, like I said, that confidence and that feeling good to just know, I'm going to see what this journey is about. And as I always tell people, enjoy the ride. Sometimes we don't stop and enjoy the ride. It's not about always getting to the end point, but what are you doing on the way there? Enjoy the ride. So, signing off for another Miracle Monday, wishing you all a fantastic week, hoping that you align yourselves with your divine good, and I will see you next week. Peace and blessings.